good? Welcome back to the Monix Project. I'm your host, Monix. We got an exciting episode here for you. But before we get into it, I just wanted to touch on a couple things. First, thank you for everybody that's tuned in to the first couple of episodes. This here is episode 3 coming out. We have a lot more episodes coming soon, so stay tuned for that. Also, for those of you that have used the link tree to find the podcast on different platforms, thank you. We really appreciate you. Now we have the support me link on the link tree. So if you'd like to support the podcast, that covers fees, equipment, and all different types of things. Thank you for those that have donated and those that continue to do so. Also, I wanted to add, if you would like to sponsor the podcast or like your business to be advertised across the podcast, reach out to me on Instagram at monix.official. We can get your business on here, and so I'd like to give a couple quick shout outs. One mainly to Professor James Nival and Professor Mitch Bowles for giving me the space and opportunity to push my podcast dream, for always believing in me and pushing me to do more. Also, a big shout out to my sister Lena and my brother-in-law Ryan for helping me get this thing started. Couldn't have done this without y'all. So big shout out to them. Couldn't have done another episode without. So again, huge thank you and shout out to all of y'all. Appreciate you. And now, today I have a special episode here for you. I have my guy Jacob Benedicto on. He's a juvenile blue belt under Professor James Nival. Upcoming phenom. This kid's jiu-jitsu is amazing. Technique is so flawless. He's won multiple tournaments. Just recently made silver at blue belt at Worlds, juvenile blue belt at Worlds, which is the biggest competition in jiu-jitsu there is right now in the gi. So he made it second in there. That's amazing. This kid is a great kid. Always helping me on and off the mats. He's got a great head on his shoulders. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the future for him and what's to come. So without any further ado, here's my interview with Jacob Benedicto. Hope you enjoy. Yo, welcome to the Monix Project. I'm your host, Monix. I'm here joined with my friend here, my guy, Jacob Benedicto. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. You want to give out your social media so people can follow you?
Sure. You could find me at JacobyDo_BJJ on Insta, and that's pretty much just it.
For sure. So, he's an upcoming phenom here at the gym. I mean, he's been killing people since the first time I met him, so wanted to get him on and share your story a little bit. First off, where are you from?
Well, I'm from here originally, but I was born in California.
Nice. What part?
Long Beach.
Long Beach. Nice. Okay. Nice. So, what age did you end up moving here?
I think I was too young to remember, but I just know it was definitely when my younger brother was born, maybe around like 4 or 3 years old.
Okay. So, how did you get started in jiu-jitsu? Like, what made you guys come to the gym?
I started jiu-jitsu around like, I think 10 or 11, almost 11. But the main reason was for, like, every time I asked my mom this and whatnot, she always says it's for exercise, right? That's how we just started, and that's why I still come. Just exercise. Competition is just like an extra for it.
Secondary. Okay. Nice. And so with training, because I see you here every day pretty much, with training and school at the same time, how hard is it to balance? Like, when did you find the balance in between?
It's still, like, super hard to balance. I still haven't found any way to balance it, actually. It's just, it's just making sure I work extra hard in both, and then trying to save enough time for myself.
Right. That's actually what I was going to ask you next. Is there things you like to do off the mat? Because usually you're just here and then school.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so it changes as I grew up, but one thing that's always been, like, common is just, like, playing video games, whether it's on my phone, iPad, computer, ever since I was young till now.
Okay. Do you have a favorite video game?
Many favorite video games, but as of right now, I've been playing this game called Valorant.
Nice.
And then for a while, I've been watching anime.
Nice. Okay. Actually, we had Sean Paul on the last episode. He's huge into anime too.
Yeah.
I wanted to get a little deeper into that, but so when you started jiu-jitsu, obviously you learned the basics and things like that. when did you feel like the switch where you're like, oh man, my game is starting to take over, I can start to manhandle grown men?
Okay, so it's not like a feeling that you get automatically. It's just something, as you keep on going, you slowly start getting into like, whoa, this like actually works against bigger people.
Right. And how old are you now?
I'm 16. I just turned 16.
Just turned 16. 16-year-old blue belt. So how is it like? How is it handling? Obviously, when you compete, there's not many blue belts at your age, at the novice age, that don't know what they're doing, right? So
yeah.
How is it competing at such a high level for such a long time at a young age?
It's super hard because some people have been like blue belts for a long time. Some people have started when they were super young, and I started, I guess you could say, somewhat like as an older person compared to like all these champions right now.
Right.
I'm just trying my best to catch up right now, and just all I got to do is just train.
Yeah. Train. And you're doing a great job. By the way, he came in second at Worlds just passed. Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's amazing. So how do you like, so for most people your age, they work at McDonald's, for their first job. How does it feel at your age for people to trust you and you're teaching privates basically like a job at your age? How does it feel for people, you're teaching, how does that feel at a young age?
It feels super good. I get to brag about it to like family and friends already, like at my age, that I'm already like making money.
Yeah, that's awesome. From jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah,
that's
just from
awesome.
jiu-jitsu.
So yeah, actually, Professor Mitch came up with a good thing. I wanted you to explain a little bit from your first tournament to now. How has the progression been? Like, how tough was it at the beginning? Because you're gonna have some people that look up to you in the gym that listen to this. So you want to explain a little bit how tough it was in the beginning to get to where you're at now.
Okay, in the beginning, right, my mom, we originally started jiu-jitsu for exercise, right, but the deeper meaning behind that was I used to be a little, like, big as, like, a kid in elementary, and then I would get, like, minorly bullied, not like, to a serious degree, but I definitely was getting, like, bullied to a certain point, but that was the main reason of starting jiu-jitsu. So as we kept exercising, a tournament came up, and my family, my mom, she asked Professor James, because I was a white belt with like three or two stripes back then.
Were you still 10 at this time?
Yeah, I was still 10, 10 or 11. But Professor James told me I should just do it. So I think it was a BJJ tour or Naga. It's either one of those two. And I went in, and I tapped out to a knee slice.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was embarrassing.
That's okay. I mean, that's your first one, right?
I know, but whenever I hear it, thinking back on it now, when they tell me that it's not even a good submission, it's just super embarrassing just to like think about it and say to myself, dang, I tapped out to a knee slice in my first tournament.
So when did it start changing?
After my first tournament, I got really addicted to just competing, and I actually wanted to take jiu-jitsu to like a more serious degree, so I just told my mom, and we started training more and more. Because previously, before the first tournament, I would train like 1 or 2 times like a week, and that would be it. But then after the tournament, I started coming more.
Nice. So, like, how long did it take you to start getting like a win streak?
I'm pretty sure I didn't start winning. Actually, I won my third tournament, but like my first win streak was probably when I hit like solid gray.
Solid gray.
Yeah, it took me a while because I kept going on and off, and then there's a point where I would just get participation medals, but I just kept training, and then it was during my gray belt that I finally got my first win streak. Nice.
So if anybody's listening, that means just don't give up, right? Like, because in the beginning, obviously you got to get used to it, the nerves, everything like that. So don't give up, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be hard in the beginning, but you just gotta power through.
Right, because you be killing it now, man. It's like every competition you're going, I'm like, oh yeah, Jacob got it. All right, so have you ever had to use jiu-jitsu outside of the mats since you've fully?
Not really. The closest thing to using it outside of the mat is like when I'm hanging out with my friends and they want to test me, saying, "Let's wrestle right now." I bet I could beat you in a fight. I'm like, okay, I'm down. So we just start wrestling, and then they try to pin me, and then I just hit them with that arm bar or something, and they're done for.
You're messing with the wrong one.
Yeah.
Nice. And do you like apply jiu-jitsu not in a physical sense, but in other aspects in life?
Yes. I not only just apply jiu-jitsu, I also apply my outside life to jiu-jitsu.
How so?
Like, so my mentality outside, because in the beginning I was like still bullied, so I had a weak mentality. But doing jujitsu helped me with that. So now, like when I'm outside, I feel like more outgoing and extroverted. And then I take that also to like video games or like whatever I'm doing. I always think about like how can I relate this to jujitsu, and then I could also do that back. Like sometimes I could play a game and then I could just suck at this level or not be able to use this specific gun or weapon. And I'm like, man, if this was jujitsu, what gun would I use and how would I use it? But that's pretty much just it.
Nice. That's a good perspective, man. That's crazy. So now that you're here at your current level, do you plan on taking this as a career choice, or what's the goals for jiu-jitsu wise?
Jiu-jitsu wise, I think I would take this as a career, but then I don't want it to be my only career. I'd love to do something else, but also keep this as like my hobby or like my second occupation.
Nice. Is there anything you're looking towards, like outside of jiu-jitsu career-wise?
Right now in school, I'm majoring in engineering.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to be a weapons engineer for right now, and we'll see what will happen.
Awesome, man. That's amazing. That's amazing. So let's say we have a fresh white belt, especially a young kid that's getting bullied, that's walking into the gym and wants to join, but doesn't know anything about jiu-jitsu. What advice would you give that?
To just, although it's going to be weird, it's going to feel weird, it's going to look weird, and what you're going to hear is going to be weird, it's just, you just got to keep going, and you got to just practice and stay strong through those hard times.
Nice. That's great advice. Great advice. And last question in this little section we have. Growing up with a brother that you get to train with, I mean, I have an older brother. I wish he would have trained jiu-jitsu because that would have been cool. I mean, you guys get to train off the mat when you're not at the gym and things like that. How has that helped your game, and how has it been, growing up with your brother in the gym?
It doesn't help at all. Like, I'm not saying because we train bad. I'm saying it's because we never trained or practiced outside of the gym.
Oh, I see.
Because ever since we started, all the way even up till now, like my brother Jared, he would never want to drill outside of the mat. He's that type of person. But then I'm also lazy too, so it's also partly my fault. But like now, it's just we just drill more on the mat than we do at home at all.
Nice. That's what's up, man. Oh man, shout out to Jared, by the way. So now we're gonna go into this segment called Hot Fire Questions. These are just quick questions that you can just throw any answer back at me. Okay. So
Okay.
I don't know if teaching was your first job, but what was your first job?
Teaching.
Awesome, man. I wish I could say that. That's awesome. Do you have any hidden talents?
Ooh, not that I know of.
Not that
I know of.
You sure about that?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm a huge superhero nerd. Do you have a favorite superhero?
Let's see. I'd say, as growing up, I'd like the anti-heroes, like the heroes that like are portrayed as the bad guys. So before, I would say like Deadpool or Venom.
Nice. That's great ones. All right. What would your superpower be if you got to choose?
I always say super speed or teleportation.
Nice.
Super speed or teleportation. That's it.
Save the gas.
Yeah.
All right. And do you have a embarrassing story you'd like to share?
Ooh. I have a lot of embarrassing stories, actually. But then, do I want to share them? That is the question.
That's up to you.
Okay. I was really embarrassed until recently, where it's like, now it's just, thinking back on it, I was just being immature. But, like, back in elementary school, I think it was, like, 1st or 2nd grade, like, that was when we still sat, like, next to each other in classrooms, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty sure I, like, farted really loudly, and I blamed it to, like, to one of my classmates, and it was a girl. And then we were just fighting, and I felt so bad, but then I just kept going with it, and, like, they just thought she farted instead, and now I feel super bad.
That's hilarious. I'm sorry. Shout out to that girl, whoever you are. All right. Do you have a favorite food?
Ooh, okay. Boba right now.
Boba. Nice. Any specific spot you go get it at?
Brew tea. I'm a regular there, actually.
Nice. All right. When you think of the word nostalgia, what comes to your mind first?
Thinking back on memories from the past.
Nice, nice. And you have a favorite movie?
Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Nice, nice. Okay, and if you could reboot any role that you would play, what role would that be?
What do you mean, as in role?
Like a movie. Like if you got to choose, you're gonna be the new Spider-Man or whatever. What would that be? You get to play it.
Oh my goodness. If I had to choose a movie and I'd play a part in it, I'd probably choose like the newest Spider-Man with Tom Holland, but
Nice.
I would be like his best friend Ned instead.
He has a cool role too.
Yeah.
Do you? So I love impressions. Do you happen to have any impressions at all?
No.
Okay,
I
that's
wish
okay.
I did though.
Me too. All right, and do you have a favorite submission?
Yes, the Ezekiel choke. Yeah.
I was
You can
gonna
do it
say-
anywhere.
I was gonna say, if you said any other one, how dare you? All right, do you have what's your biggest pet peeve?
Biggest pet peeve? Ooh, eating manners, like keeping your mouth closed while chewing, no talking while eating.
Mhm.
I pay really big attention to those.
Nice, nice. And you have a quote you live by.
No, I don't. I just live on by thinking about what others say. So
What others say? Nice, nice. And if you could give one person a shout out, like say, that's given you the most inspiration throughout your life, who would that be?
it's got to be all my professors that stayed with me from day one, Professor James and Professor Mitch.
Nice, nice, nice. All right, so that's gonna end hot fire questions. Actually, one question I wanted to ask you, man, is how does it feel having this huge support group every time you compete or anything you do? You know, you got moms, you got the family coming everywhere. How does that feel, like always having people behind you?
It feels amazing. It makes you feel like that everyone's behind you
Mhm.
and that what you do, they're fine with it, and it just makes them happier. And that's what I really like.
That's awesome, man. And you never feel any pressure.
I always feel pressure.
You always feel pressure.
But most of the time it's like the good kind.
That's good. That's good. And do you still get nervous every time before you get on the mat?
Always.
Always?
Always get nervous, especially during tournaments. Like at the gym, not necessarily, but if I go to a new place and then just for a tournament or just to train, I start to feel nervous more.
Nice, nice. So if you're listening to that, the nerves never go away. This guy is competing, feels like all the time, and the nerves still haven't gone away.
Yeah, competing for like 5 years and still nerves.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, so the last segment we're going to touch is the segment threes. We decided to choose our top three fast foods. So I'm going to start it off. At number 3 for me, I think I got to go Jack in the Box, man. That's my go-to.
I don't remember the last time I ate Jack in the Box.
It's a bomb.
Mm.
What's number 3 for you?
Number 3 would be, I'd say McDonald's.
McDonald's, okay. They always give me stomach aches for some reason.
Their fries are good, though.
Yeah, they are. Nobody touches their fries. Number 2, I'm going to go with Taco Bell.
Oh, number 2. Burger King.
Burger King. Oh man, that's right next to me, so that's super dangerous. Super dangerous. Number 1, that's tough, man. I'm gonna say In-N-Out, number 1.
Yeah, that's the same thing. In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the exact same. I love their burgers
Yeah.
and their animal fries, right?
Oh yeah, and the Neapolitan shakes.
Oh, my brother loves those.
All right, so before we end this podcast off and the interview, is there anything you'd like to give, any shout outs or anything you want to push?
Shout outs to my family for always supporting me. My mom, my dad, my brothers, and my sister. Mostly my mom and dad, though. I wish my dad could have still trained, got that white belt with 2 stripes. And then maybe in the future, maybe my mom should try one class instead of just yelling at me.
For sure.
Sorry, mother.
Sorry. All right. Do you want to give out your social media handles real quick?
JacobyDoo_BJJ on Insta. It's spelled JCOBYDOO_BJJ.
Perfect. And you want to give a shout out to your sponsor?
Yes, I just have one, just Flow Bottle. Really good water bottles that I always bring to train with at Jiu-Jitsu.
Shout out to Flow Bottle. And you can find me everywhere at monix.official on Instagram. Well, thank you again. Thank you for coming.
Of course.
Happy to have you on. Hopefully you can be back on the next time because we're going to have Noah on.
Yeah.
So hopefully you can be back for that. But looking forward to the future for you, man. And appreciate you having you on.
No, thank you for having me. Thank you for everything.
Of course, man. Thank you. So this is the Monix Project, and we out. Peace.
Bye.